described the last class about the importance of Dhyanam or meditation and the purpose for which it is done. They are the natural way of living, as we discussed. Yesterday also we said about the rhythmic way of living or dharmic way of living. Once that is done, nothing else is necessary. Automatically the karmas, the evoking of the prarabdha automatically takes place, and the execution of karmas goes on. We have seen in the Puranas and the Avatara Purushas, for instance, mostly avataras are done by Dashavatara, Lord Vishnu. Whether it is Krishna Avatara or Rama Avatara or any other avatara may be taken, you will find that his karmas or automatically happens and it is eliminated. Like various Rakshasas appear during the childhood of Lord Krishna, even as an infant, and they are eliminated. See, from there it begins. See. The question always have taken place in many people's mind. Is it not a bit of fantasy saying that an infant was taken by a demon or Rakshasi and he killed her? Yeah, when it is logically and with a normal common man's mind, when he thinks that, he will find it is not possible. It's such a powerful, they're all these Mayavis, Rakshasis are all Mayavis. They have acquired a lot of powers with their effort of that, with meditation and things like that. They have acquired a lot of powers. And such a powerful person, we are explaining, or the Purana is explaining, as an infant, Bhagavan Krishna eliminated. In a very simple process, in a very simple way. This is the explanation I want to give. How is it possible? When the Atma is on the status of Dhyanam at all the time, rhythmically connected with the Purusha, rhythmically, dharmic way of engagement of Purusha, where the ego and the mind is not involved, and because of which the attractions and attachment of the materialistic or bhautika jivan has not taken place at all, and the Atma or the consciousness, that which is prevalent, whether it is an infant or in an old man or in a great jnani, both are same. It is the status of the revealed consciousness in that individual that is most powerful, because everything, as we said, everything is controlled and everything is manipulated, everything is manifested, unmanifested is only by that consciousness. When that consciousness is prevalent, you call it as an infant, because the body, the physical body is small and the physical body has taken birth only a few days or few hours ago. So you call him an infant. An infancy, the problem is that we give a lot of importance to that word infancy, is the problem. Once you remove that, all problems are sorted out. No? Whether it is infancy or young man or old man or knowledgeable jnani, tapasvi, no? Etc., etc., etc. When you qualify that prana, qualify that consciousness with parameters of the bhautik, that is the materialistic way of living, then you are unable to justify the action taken by that object. That's a problem. When that preposition or qualification of that particular the consciousness is eliminated, so to say, whether he is Mahavishnu or whether he is infant Krishna, the consciousness of both are same. When I say Mahavishnu did it, immediately you believe. When we say the infant Krishna who is not yet able to walk, cry, talk, he has done it, how is it possible to believe? No. You understood my point? Yes? That is why we call it as self-realization. Each and every individual is that same Mahavishnu, that consciousness, because everything is a part of that, everything is that. There is no question of part, because it cannot be divided. This I have explained earlier also. There is air all over. No? The air inside me, outside me is all the same. It is not a part of air that I have taken out. No, I have taken in. No. This is air only. There is no barrier. We think there is a barrier in between called this, qualified sharira. But it is no more the same way. The Dhyanam is prevalent, the light is prevalent, the consciousness is prevalent, and we are that. Only thing, during the process of the manifestation of mind, intellect and ego, the understanding of the consciousness of the prevalent consciousness is superseded by the materialistic, logically seen sharira. It is superseded. It's not that it is eliminated. It's superimposed or superseded because that only can be understood by the ego or the mana or the intellect, because that is what it can be seen. Because consciousness cannot be seen, it can be only experienced. Yes? There is a contradiction, or there is an opposite, reverse actions of both of them. Body can be seen, it cannot be felt. No? Functions of the body can be seen, in the sense whichever way it is, but it's not felt. When you are sleeping, are you able to see the body? How do you feel the body, experience the body? Even though there may be disabilities, abilities of the physical body, you are not able to see it. In the same way, in the physical form, the antaratma or the consciousness cannot be felt or seen. So in this logically, when it is in the reasoning, rational thinking, when it is taking place by the mana, the rationalism, or what we call it as logical, or what we call it as a materialistic revelation or bhautik revelation, you are able to see only those which are palatable to the vibration frequency of the bhautika or the material. So when you are trying to experience the materialistic experiences, objective experiences or materialistic experiences, the experiences of the consciousness is hidden and you are unable to experience them. That is why in normal course, we are unable to see that consciousness because we are constantly, vehemently trying to experience the objective pleasures, and which you could never do, you in the sense the Jivatma could never do for thousands of years. Could he do that? I'm not talking about your experiencing the pleasures and all that. Could he at last find out solace with that experience of the materialistic world? If you found an ultimate truth in the materialistic world, the search will stop there, is it not? But you will find each and every era, each and every race, each and every individual in the race kept on trying to reveal the experiences of the materialism in his or her own way, is it not? Each individual, but could not. In common, on the other side, anybody who tried to understand this fact and through the avastha of the Shravana, Manana and Dhyana and Samadhi could understand the self, which is known as the consciousness, highest consciousness, he attained or he became that consciousness, and the research or search has stopped there. Here, thousands of years the search is going on, still you are not yet found out everything. It's not every day something new comes. But after merging with the consciousness of identifying the consciousness, when the knowledge, all the knowledge that is prevalent has been achieved and acquired at a point of time, the search stops. What to search? When you have all the searches completed in the consciousness, the Dhyanam that is in the consciousness should be in a position to reveal and tell you, this is what you are supposed to search. That cause from where the idea or the information comes from, once you reach that status, no more questionnaire comes from there, because you have become that knowledge. Who inspires you to do further research or search on many things? Tomorrow we have to invent something new, rediscover something new for the facility of this, for the facility of somebody invented the satellite. After finding satellites, they are not happy. They said that no, I want to build a room there in order to stay on top and then control the satellites according to me. So they are building some rooms, trying to stay there, live there. This search is going on. We are not ending at all. Once you are there, then something else will come, then something else will come. Keep on going. But the one who has attained the complete consciousness, the complete Brahmanda, the knowledge of the complete Brahmanda is within that person. He stops the search, because there is no more search is required, everything is completed in that subtle way of identification of the consciousness in all the manner. Because all the understanding are subtle, sutras, in sutras. The scientists, after having invented so many things with 80 years, 100 years of experimenting or 1,000 years of experimenting with so many formulas, at last, once he found out a particular solution in a sutra, that is what is remembered, is it not? Not the whole process that you have been working on, that is not remembered. So from this sutra, the whole thing is revealed. Everything is there in the subtle way it is incorporated in that particular small equation that has been created. It has been in subtle way, has been stored in it. You need not to have pages after pages running for 100 years. He has made so many calculations, he has made. Nothing is required. So many are rejected, so many are accepted, so many are modified, so many things are there. What I am trying to tell you is that when I got this, when we have the samyamam, when we have the samyamam, that means concentration and meditation and samadhi at the same time, at the same object, constantly is called samyamam. If that samyamam is there in us, we attain that consciousness where no more materialistic search is necessary. You are welcome to have materialistic search and attain the siddhis and physical pleasures. Nobody stops you. No. You're welcome to do that. If you like to have that experience, you can keep on having that experience. But only thing, what the Maharishi or Tapasvis or Jnanis are telling, that you will never be satisfied with that. Once you attain one siddhi, you are looking for another siddhi. From that siddhi to another siddhi, you keep on doing that. You will not be in a position to ultimately live in peace, what we call it as. Okay, I have got everything what I needed. Can you attain that position by material research? It is not possible. So what happened? Swami here explains about the samyamam. We have explained about samyamam in the previous class. Concentration, meditation, and the samadhi constantly going on one subject is called samyamam. That means, what is that? Concentration, meditation and samadhi. Concentration is physically done. No? That means physically you have to be there. Physically you have to be there means what? It's not a small word, concentration. Eh? It's not only by concentrating through the mind. The complete of you should become the subtlemost point and be present there. That means your hands, your legs, your back, your body, your throat, your nose, your ears, everything should become one small tiny thing and be there. Is it not? I am in a it's a strange way of explanation, I know. Nobody has explained this like this, what I am saying now. Nowhere you will find. Nowhere. Just a common language, that's all I used for interpreting that. Is which gives an impression. When I say, this another way of saying is that you should not be aware of your sharira at that time. Is what. So the moment I say, you should not be aware of your body, physical body prevalent at the point of concentration, understanding that sentence and understanding the sentence which I told you now, that all your organs, all your body, all your parts of your body should shrink to that size to fit in a small capsule and become one subtle small thing present there. You see, your understanding becomes totally different, isn't it? Right? For people who want to really make your mind think about it, one is that avoid identifying body. Now that is, no, it's not difficult for the mind. How to avoid physical body to concentration? Okay, how to avoid? He is in concentration, he does it. These words are not necessary actually. In proper concentration, this happens, that's all. Body is not there, only concentrate. I mean, when you are concentrating on the object is prevalent, not the subject. That means you or the sharira is not prevalent. Ultimately, the object is prevalent. Because you think about an object, you become that. This is what I have told earlier also. You think Himalayas, you can feel the vastness and the cold and the ice and all that you can experience because you become that. At that point of time, you don't find your hands and legs in between protruding out of Himalaya. No? It's not there because your concentration is on that particular object. It happens. But you have to tone up your mind towards that. When I advise you in order to tone up your mind towards the concentration. Concentration in short form or in an understandable form, or in today's world, in Kali Yuga, the present generation, they can easily understand if I ask you to understand that all your sharira, including all parts of your body, everything becomes absolutely subtle and becomes one small thing, and being there, you're able to concentrate. It's better. It's called the concentration. No, it's not a, even though we think it is a physical phenomena, it is not a physical phenomenon. Everything is a mental phenomenon. Mind only is concentrating. It's not the sharira who is concentrating. Body is nowhere. See, the funniest part is that nowhere in the mental plane and the functional plane body is involved. Everything is mind, ego, intellect, and then Atma and all that, you see. But what happens, the most importance that is given by the human being is body. That which is not at all important. Where nowhere after body they don't explain more on that. How to control your liver and all that is not. They are talking about the body, in ego, intellect, mind, and then the Atma, Paramatma. They are only there. The body is only that. The body is told and forget about it. The importance of body is only that physical experience. Being in the Bhautika Loka, body is important. Because body is a material. Body is a Bhuta. So in order to be in the Bhautika Loka, Bhuta has to be there. That Bhuta only will be recognized by the Bhautikam. That's why this Bhuta is there. Otherwise nothing else. It's only hosting, or it's only dwelling the Atma inside that. It's only a shell that is there available. Well, shell has got its own importance. I don't deny that. But its importance has to be kept only to that limit of importance. But what we do, or what generally done, is that this Bhautika Sharira, or which is less important as a shell, is given equivalent importance of Atma or the Paramatma. Nothing beyond this. So all the actions and activities and the pleasures that you are looking for is only for the Sharira. Even meditation you are doing, it is only for the Sharira. No? Ultimately it comes because the benefit you want to derive, that means you are wanting to derive some benefit. The benefits that what you are wanting to derive is only for Sharira. Suppose I tell, oh, he is a Mahayogi. As a normal person, unimpressive. It's a Mahayogi. Great Jnani, great Tapasvi, is a Mahayogi. If I tell a normal person looks at him, I can't see any qualities of yogi in him. How did he assess? Just by looking at the Sharira. So look at his imagination. What I am telling, including us. No? I'm just giving an example. By looking at him, by physical body, he thought that, as in television and films and all seen that, there should be light emerging from him. And then standing there too tall up to the sky. And then he will say that, okay, he's a yogi. No? I'm just telling examples. Mind creates these things. No? Looking at him, he says that I don't find any special qualities in him except that he looks to be a very poor man. That's all I can see him. He's what the man who doesn't understand about the distinction between the Bhautika and Adhyatmika will talk about. That means everything is identified through the physical body. So the physical body has been given the equal status of the Paramatma or Atma. Whereas it is the most negligible factor as far as your total bifurcation is concerned. Right? So by doing this concentration, what happened? That impression of your body or your physical body or your organs or your pleasures, your identification, your intelligence, your this, etc., has shrunk into something, and being presented to focus on the object is called concentration. Clear? It's not a simple focus. This is called focusing. How can you focus? You can focus only when you deviate from the divisions that you are already in and prevalent at each and every moment. You are functioning through the number of divisions that you have. You are functioning through that. It's not that you are able to attain one. No, you are sometimes with the eyes, you are sometimes with the nose, sometimes with the ear, sometimes with the body, sometimes this, sometimes object, sometimes somebody else, sometimes nature, somebody is sometimes God, somebody is this thing. These diversities keep on occupying your mind and keeping your mind occupied with this and keep on jumping from one object to other and making that as important, whereas that is not at all important. The sum total of all these put together, put it in a nutshell and say that now no more. You are subtle. The effect is only the sukshmata of everything has to be brought into that small one, and be there is called the concentration. Then only we can call it as a concentration. That means the concentrated form of you, in other words. This is the right way of concentration. The physical body, or as we are doing through the third eye, close your eyes and then bring the eyes pointed towards this one, and then or open your eyes and see an object and just keep on looking at that object and concentrate on that. It's not happening because mind is again going away here and there. Your concentration has to happen when the mind and body should merge together. When the body and mind merge together, then only the concentration will take place. You understand? So for the body to merge with the mind, who is the one who is concentrating? Mind. So who has to merge with whom? Body has to merge with the body. Body has to merge with the mind. Because Sharira cannot concentrate, so mind need not to merge with. If mind merges with the body, that is equivalent to all these people prevalent now. Mind is merged with the body. No? The people in Kali Yuga, this is called the mind, because their mind has merged with the body. The one who has got an individual capacity to do anything has been merged with the dense, inactive, inefficient matter of body. It is like pouring milk on the rock. Any amount of milk poured on the rock, will it have any effect? Any amount, that's why nothing is happening to individuals. They are all experiencing only physical pleasures, physical experience, not the experience of the mind. Why? Because the mind is merged with the Sharira. And every activity of the mind is based on the Sharira only. No? Our problems are also Sharira. You didn't respect me, you didn't smile at me, you did not love me, you did not feed me, you did not take care of me, you did not look at me, you did not reject me, you did not supported me, you did not. Who are you mentioning? Who are you mentioning? The whole problem is that. Who is most unimportant in the syllabus of Jiva? Most unimportant in the syllabus of Jiva is the Sharira. It is important to that extent, I don't deny. But what are you addressing? Where are you addressing to each one? Leave me alone. Who are you addressing to? Sharira, no? Please go. Let my body be alone without any other body around me. It's called, what we call it as, leave me alone. To be alone, is anybody's permission required? Oh, you're alone, finished. Thousands of things around you. Do you require anything? What you want is that the physical body should be alone. Is it possible in this universe? With so much of material around you, is it possible for you to be alone? No. When you are not in this crowd, you are in some other crowd. That's all. If not in the crowd of the people, you are in the crowd of machines. You are in the crowd of electronics. You are in the crowd of trees. Okay, nature. You are in the crowd of, as far as Sharira is concerned, it's a crowd only. Are you alone? Can any time you be alone in that sense? Is there any place that you are alone? Oh, somebody said that's why the Maharishis went into the caves and then did tapasya, because they wanted to be alone. In the cave, he is in the crowd of that situation of the crowd of the cave. He went to the cave because others do not disturb him when he is alone. That's the difference. You want to be alone is one. When he is alone, others should not disturb him and distract him in the initial stages till the time he can mentally focus on himself, is why he is going into the cave. In fact, the one who wants to be alone, it's not necessary a particular place. There is no place for a person to be alone. Is there? Is there a place? Most crowded place, you can be alone. We do it also. Do you know that? All of us do it. It's not a special capacity that I am talking about. No. Each and every child has got that capacity. Each and every individual, we all have got it. No. Suppose somebody is sitting here with all that shout, all that principles I am talking. If he wants to be alone, mentally you close your ears. That's all. And you are there where you want to. Whatever amount of disturbance I create by my Tattva Shastra, forget about it. You are no more there. He is alone, that's all. That is called the aloneness. That's called the siddhi, that's called the samadhi. That is what will bring you peace. Not running away from one room to the other room and one place to the other room. Let us go to, what is that? Anchavadi. Let us go to that Uttarkashi. And Uttarkashi is full of tourists. No, this is not the Uttarkashi what I wanted. No. Then let's go further. Gangotri, Yamunotri. All Bengalis are there. This is not the place I want to. I am coming from there only. Only difference is वहाँ टोपी लगाया हुआ इधर टोपी नहीं. This is the, if you are looking for this aloneness, then I have no words to say that. That's not aloneness. In concentration, that aloneness is that what is required, because it is in the mind. Wherever you go, you will not be, if this is the case, you want to run away and then find out aloneness, then you will never find out. You are always entangled with something or other, some crowd or other, because that is the bhautika swabhava. It's not your fault. That is the bhautika swabhava. And the mana is because, why I am saying all this? To make you feel important that today in these conditions and people behave like this, their mind is merged with the sharira. That's called mind is material. The mind is merged with the material instead of material merging with the mind. So in order to have the progression and success in finding out the efforts of finding out the self, you have to have that progression and succession of sharira merging with the mana. Then only this is possible. So that is why he said about the concentration. You understand now? So don't think that value, the literal meaning of the English word concentration. In concentration, ekagrata. In samskara, two. Ekagrata. When I am telling concentration, then only all this confusion takes place. No? Then only I have to talk so much. I would not have talked all these things had I used the word ekagrata from the beginning. See how it is. Ekagra. I am in that agra. The whole of me is is containing in that ekagra, the tip of the grass, ekagra chitta. The whole of me, that's what I said, no? Subtle level of the whole universe. Not only your body. The whole world, the whole universe has come into the subtle level and has slowly started merging to the mind, is called the concentration. If that is concentration, then what is meditation? That concentrated form of the sharira with the mind, where and when the sharira is no more there to distract and disturb and to attract the mind anymore, is the status of meditation. Am I right? I always said, what is meditation? Dhyanam is that parityaga of the unwanted, parityaga of the ichha, parityaga of the material, parityaga of the desires and attachment. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, elimination of that from you. That means indriya nigraha has to be taken place. To have the indriya nigraha is meditation. That means when that bhautika, when that mind, the sharira merged with the mana, and when that merged with the mana, the sharira is no more there to distract him, to attract him, to attach him, to lead him, to guide him, to make him happy, to make him sorrow, is no more there. When indriyas are there, sharira is there, indriyas are there, then only the mana is distracted. No? See, we always call the term, I am going into detailed study of it now. We all know meditation and all this, all we have already talked in Upanishads and all that. Going into details. When I say the distraction of the mana means, in the natural way of mana, it is not attracted or attached with anything. Distraction. No? Distraction of the mana, or the attachment or the attraction of the mana, when I am talking about, that means mana by itself, left to mana, it is not a material that which will be distracted or attached or anything. Is it not? Sharira is the cause of the distraction of the mana. Sharira is the cause of the attraction of the mana. Sharira is the cause of attachment of the mana. Sharira is the cause for the desire of the mana. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya takes place only because of the presence of sharira is felt and accepted and acceded by the mana. If it has not done so, the mana would not distract itself and attach itself, attract itself and give importance to all those pleasures of the sharira that mana, sammana, ninda, or glorifying, or the prashamsa, prashamsa or ninda, or neglect feeling, or the tiraskarana of sharira, rejecting you. Oh, he has not entertained me. And I went there, knocked the door 3 times, he did not open the door. Rejected. Tiraskar kiya. Dispositioned me from there. They are all happening to what? Related with the sharira only, because mana has qualified all these things, all these words, and attached to importance, and then distraction of from the mana, the distraction has taken place, and because of which the mana could not stay attached and attracted to where it should have been. Is why we call it as distraction of mind. When the mana is supposed to be attracted to the antaratma, it could not do that because of attachment and attraction towards the sharira and physical pleasures. Is why we call these activities as distraction of the mind. Right? They are all qualified as, that's what Shastra says, I did not say that. Distraction of the mind. I am doing something, I am being distracted. I am supposed to be here, so which, because of some other thing that is happening there, I got distracted. Is why we call it as a distraction. So everything is a distraction of mind. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya is distraction of mind. In order to disassociate ourselves with the distraction and associate ourselves with the attraction, we have to eliminate the indriyas or the sharira or bhautika sharira, the feeling of the bhautika sharira, or the consciousness of the prevalence of the bhautika sharira, consciousness of the what to call it, authoritatively, it is called imposing himself to the mana. Actually, sharira authoritatively imposing itself to the mana to accept it. By forcefully, he is telling that mind should be accepted. You should accept me. That is why this is happening. So a distraction has to take place. That is why Dhyanam is necessary. When the Dhyanam or meditation in the form of the concentration, when the indriya nigraha has taken place, it is all, the whole universe has been brought into a small, subtle point where it can be controlled by the mana so that it doesn't exploit itself and attract the mana towards the activities of the sharira. It has shrunk into that area so that it doesn't, because when it is expanded and detailed, then only the activities will begin of the sharira. So that is why I told, specifically, intentionally I told that in order to bring it to the subtle form of the sharira. It's a special, just to make understand the word, they're all play of words, that's all. So when you are making it in a subtle form of the sharira, if anything is brought into sukshma svabhava, the details are not there. Zip file, what we call today, it's a computer language. No. So bring it into the zip file, no details are available there. Only when you open it and then only unzip that, then only all inside the pouch, what is stored, the dirty things can be seen. Right? So this is into the zip file, that is called the Sukshma Bhavena. Now it's better to understand. The Sharira has to be brought into Sukshma so that this will not affect or attract or attach externally in appearance wise, because there is no activity going on. It cannot disturb the other activities. It's not possible. So the mana is able to concentrate, after concentration, the mana is able to do Dhyanam better. After that is called meditation. So at that point of meditation, whatever the mind has been registered, because when the sharira was exposed and active through the indriyas, since the further implementation or the forceful application of the sharira is no more there, having capsuled it, having zipped it, the mind is at freedom in order to eliminate those recordings that has already taken place in that, the qualities of desire, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, he is able to eliminate them and free the mind from those activities, or free the mind from those impressions that has already been created, is called Dhyanam. So, the mind is ultimately purified itself without any desires, attachment, attraction, kama, krodha, lobha. Actually, not getting. Just not getting particulars. Word maybe it will come. Okay, so that, and then once the mind has eliminated all those qualities that has been imposed upon that, maligned by, when the mind is detached from all that, the mind gets automatically attached to the antaratma, because mind has to attach itself to somewhere else or other. Mind is what? The thoughts and emotions. When there are emotions, as I told you about emotions last time also, when there are emotions but do not have the field of sharira to implement on, the emotions will become subtle and function as transparent units. That's what I said. Emotions are transparent. The thought will be transmitted through the transparent, pure, clean, unimpulsive, indirective emotion, projects that thought, and that thought, when it is projected, since the indriyas and sharira is no more there, available to receive it, automatically this will be received by the antakarana and the atma, which will create this prarabdha karma into sancheta karma. Is how you direct prarabdha into sancheta karma as it is, without any addition to it, manifestations to that, so that you are able to eliminate it. Is how Krishna could kill, what is that? Tadaga. No, what is it? Putana. Putana moksha. Putana could be killed by the consciousness of where, because his transparency of the emotion from the sancheta, prarabdha karma, Krishna's prarabdha karma is what? Vishnu's experience, that means godliness. Through that emotion, even though he is a body, through that emotions, when the thoughts are transmitted, not to the body of them, that's why the body is not important, whether it's a child or old man, because there is no emotions there, there is no indriyas, they are waiting for it to receive it and entertain that. The thoughts, the thought, here in Krishna's case what happened, this is a asura, demon, it has to be killed, it has to be eliminated from this world, so that there will be peace prevalent in the universe, is the thought. That is his prarabdha, let us call it. Through the emotions, which is transparent and pure, non-interruptive and absolutely clean, through that emotion it is expressed. Where it goes, since the indriyas are not there to receive it, because the activities are not there in the indriyas, so this goes into the antaratma, antakarana and antaratma and the Paramatman. So the act of the thought, which has to be, the demon has to be eliminated, automatically is implemented in the, from prarabdha to sancheta, and sancheta executes it. Is how the evil in us also can be eliminated through this. That is why the Dhyanam has to be done, not for only spiritual awakening. This is called spiritual awakening. That you are making yourself capable to handle your life that has been provided to you, even though there are prarabdha karmas, but dharmic, that's why I said dharmic way of living. In the process of dharmic way of living, where the emotional emotional in the sense normal language, that emotional activities of the sharira, when it is eliminated, the prarabdha karma when it is reflected, these indriyas should take it in the right sense or prevalent by the sancheta karma from the prarabdha karma, so that it can be executed in the right manner. But for that purpose, the indriyas, the mana and the indriyas and the sharira, everything has to be involved into the truth or the facility of the truth, which is called the satyam, or which is called the jnanam, or which is called the brahman at last. So the brahma jnanam has to be acquired so that dharmam can be understood in the right sense. So dharmic way of living, that means executing the karmas in the righteous manner. It's called dharma. That's dharma. So in order to do that, what is that righteous? Nobody knows what is righteous, in the sense I cannot write few lines and say that this is called dharma. No, it's not that. Dharma is that it is the characteristics and reflection of the antaratma, of the Purusha or the Parabrahman. There is no change in it. So that has to be implemented. So what happens is that when the prarabdha is projected through the emotions, in order to do elimination of that prarabdha through sancheta karma, the exact nature of the purpose, because in the prarabdha is what? The previous experience of the life. Now from the experience of the life, when you are dead, when the sharira is dead, when it was in the status of the atma, soul, it has already analyzed and purified and brought into small sutras. This prarabdha has to be eliminated this way. One answer, one action, that's all. No more, no elaborate explanations that no, take the water through this and bring it through that, nothing is there. No more such instructions. One action. So that prarabdha, this is prarabdha, this is to eliminate like this, that's all, finished. That's stored in you. No, in sutras it is stored in you. So when in Dhyanam, Savastha, when it is projected through the emotions that is stored, and the emotions, in order to receive the emotions, there is no indriyas there, or the uneducated indriyas are not there. When indriya nigraha means what? Not killing the indriyas, as Bhagavan said, in order to kill, when we kill Kauravas, doesn't mean that we are killing Kauravas, we are killing adharma. So the qualities of the indriyas have to be killed. That which is already associated with kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, these qualities have to be eliminated from the indriya. Indriya will be there. So long the sharira is there, karma is there, indriya will be there. But what happens? Indriya nigraha means that which is not supposed to be done by the indriyas, removing them is called indriya nigraha. I explained this in first previous classes. When you take rice and remove the patthar from those days, I think we have to do all that. No, nowadays, I think patthar is, I don't know, patthar is in the form of rice, so we don't choose that. No, we cannot take it out. Earlier patthar was mixed, but original patthar was mixed. तो हम बोलते हैं चावल चुनने का है ना, even though patthar is being taken out, we see चावल चुनने का है, right? Because that what is accepted is what we say, chawal is the one which has to be accepted. Other than chawal, whatever is there, remove it. Not we say patthar chunne ka hai. Even though you are taking out the patthar, but according to logically you tell me what are you doing actually, patthar chunte ho na. When you are doing like this, you are not doing the chawal chunna, but actually patthar is being taken out. Same way, you understood what I am telling? In the indriyas, there is kama, krodha, lobha, moha, everything is there, but also there dharmam or the jnanam is there. Kya chunne ka hai? That is called indriya nigraha. No? You understood now? Patthar ka nigraha? Indriya nigraha is what? That what is not wanted by us, that is not necessary, that is acceptable, will be one which will say that indriya. So, nigraha of the indriya, which is contaminated by these unwanted emotional attractions and attachments, is what we do during Dhyanam. Chaval chunte. This is what is Dhyanam. Unwanted things are removed. So now what happens? After concentration, stopped the emotions, I am repeating, stopped the emotions to be attractive to the indriyas by the mana, but he keeps on passing it through the emotions, which is going to the antaratma and purifying it. In this manner, at a point of time when all that has been stored in the mana is taken out, then he reaches in the dhyana avastha, and in the dhyana avastha, he focuses again on the indriyas where only the Parabrahma Dharmam, Parabrahma Jnanam is prevalent, and eliminated all those what has been otherwise there and what is not required is called the indriya nigraha. So in Dhyanam, all these things are renounced. For the purpose of renunciation only, what's called renunciation? Renunciation is not the renunciation of the prana, renunciation of the sharira, but that which is prevalent, making the sharira to function bhautikally, is that what is to be renounced. That what is not necessary for you is what ultimately. What is you? The you is the self, the antaratma. That what is not necessary for you is eliminated, is called the indriya nigraha, is called meditation or dhyanam. You understood? Concentration, meditation. After such a meditation is done, now there is no, after that what happens? Mana doesn't have any activity to function. He is jobless. Retired. No? From all the activities, he has retired. When he has retired, there is nothing more to do. What happens? Samadhi. That's why the grandfathers, like people like me, after retirement, sleep in the easy chair. That's all. Morning he will eat and then easy chair. Lunch, easy chair. Evening, easy chair. Not only chair, easy chair. So, what is that? Samadhi. Avastha, what is that? Samadhi. No activity. Mana has no activity to do because indriyas are not there. Emotions are not there. Activity is not there. Prarabdha also khatam ho gaya. Now what will you do? So he says that now I retire from all. What is retirement? Retire from the activities is called the retirement. No, that's retirement. Not he, even though old man has retired at this one, doesn't mean that he will not walk or eat. He will do all other activities vehemently other than doing the work. It's called retirement. Okay, retirement from the work. That's joking. So retirement, the mana gets retired. So when it is retired, it will not get implemented, involved in any of these activities. Mediator and decision maker, forget about it. It's called the status of samadhinata. But doesn't mean that it doesn't have anything to do. It has full of that knowledge, jnanam of the Brahma jnanam is there. When the Brahma jnanam is not there, when the Brahma jnanam is there, the mana and the antaratma, because as I told you earlier also, it becomes one. No special activity like earlier has to be initiated by the mana is called retirement or is called the samadhi. Samadhinata is called samadhi. Not that mind is not active. Mind is not alert. It's alert. Tapasvi Maharishi is in Dhyanam, in samadhi, but he says there is going to be a pralaya after 120 years. He is seeing that. His mind is active. His antarkarana is active. Mana is active. Everything is active. But not active, that is what is not necessary. But all other qualities of the mana remain same. Is what we call it as mana is retired. Retired from the activities that it had been doing all these years. He has retired from that. That's what he means. He was a chief engineer, retired from the work of the chief engineer is called retired. That particular work, he has retired only from that particular work, particular job is called retirement of the man. So Mana has been doing all this feeding, playing and gaming and all that, no. Huh? That is, he is retired from that, no more. He is called samadhi. I'm just putting in common language and so that easy for our mind to perceive it and accept it and then remember it. That's what I want now. If you don't remember, what's the use of my telling you? Samadhi, concentration, the meditation, samadhi, and constantly being projected and being subject-object is called the samyamam. Now please do samyamam. Nothing happens, no? There's no use. So it's very, I thought I must, not because you don't understand, I thought I must explain to understand myself, to make me understand myself. So I did the self-explanation on that. It's called the samyamam. With that samyamam, now, first you have to reach that samyamam, state of samyamam. And when you reach that samyamam, using that samyamam technique, you will do sakama dhyanam. Savikalpa dhyanam or sakamas. Nishkama dhyanam has not yet come, no? It's still in the sakama. With this samyama we can do sakama dhyanam, sakama bhakti, sakama dhyanam can be done. So further, Rishi explains how we, in order to attain, what is sakama dhyanam? No. Well, there is a slight difference here, sakama dhyanam. In sakama dhyanam is that you would like to achieve siddhis. You're not destroying anybody or distracting anybody, or you're not having this kama, krodha, lobha, moha and all that. All those things are not there because you already eliminated through the process of samyamam. That's why I said using the samyamam, so that it doesn't get distracted and disturbed at the point of samadhi, sakama. Even for sakama samadhi, you have to have a complete, free, unidentified and purely pure the status of the mana is necessary for attaining the samadhi. For that you have to reach the status of samadhi through samyamam. You reach the samadhi. In that samadhi, you focus on the karma that is necessary for you and then attain that sakama. What are those things? He is telling few things. We'll just browse through that and then we go to the nirvikalpa samadhi. This is vikalpa samadhi and sakama samadhi. Nishkama samadhi, where the nishkama bhakti, nishkama samadhi. Narada's bhakti, nishkama bhakti. Nandi's bhakti towards Bhagavan Shiva is nishkama bhakti. Nirvikalpa samadhi he does. Nishkama bhakti he does. Nirantara nishkama bhakti. Nirantara nishkama bhakti. Is that what Nandi does? He doesn't have it. So, when you do nirantara nishkama bhakti, when Nandi has done nirantara, what Bhagavan Shiva explains, when he does the nirantara nishkama bhakti, Nandi is doing, who is Nandi? He has become Shiva. That's all. No more explanations on that. That's why he is prayed as equal as Shiva, not second. Nandi, he does the nishkama bhakti, and nirantara nishkama nirvikalpa samadhi. Equivalent to, that means all Shiva's blessings are always with you. When all the blessings of Shiva is there and he doesn't have any karma, he doesn't have any individuality, he doesn't have any personal requirements or personal qualifications and name, then what is he? He is Shiva only. Even though we identify them as two. Same way, when we have this nishkama bhakti, And nirvikalpa samadhi, to whomever we are focusing on, whomever we are praying to, we become that. Is how aham brahmasmi tattva has started. In order to attain that aham brahmasmi status, brahmavit brahmaiva bhavati. No? So, I think, anyway, first sloka let us read and then go. So this is how the samyama is created, because even though I have taken samyama, I thought here, everywhere samyama has been mentioned. So I thought better remind you, or just brushing the memories of the samyama, so that it's fresh in the mind when you listen to these stanzas. Samskara sakshatkaranat purva jati jnanam. Samskara sakshatkaranat purva jati jnanam. Samskara. By perceiving samskaras comes the knowledge of the previous birth or births. What Swamiji is writing here is, when samyama is performed on the samskaras, that's why I told detail samyama. Now you know what is application of samyama to samskara. Samyama is performed on samskaras, or habitual impressions of one's mind. Habitual impressions of one's mind. Knowledge of the past births come. This is because the karma that must be worked out in this life depends on the impressions carried over from the past life, that is called the prarabdha to sancheta, that were not dealt with at that time. I told you, they were in the subtle sutras, they directly implemented. But in order to understand what is that purva karma, if you go into detail of purva karma, you will get lost. So, in fact, whatever is the fact or the gist of it and the result that is necessary or corrective action that is necessary by the purva karma has already been decided by you in the level of the soul when you were in the level of soul, because soul has got absolute jnanam. There's no question. There's an intrinsic jnanam, they call it, and there's no implications of other influences of the externalities there. So in the soul level, you decide this is the prarabdha karma I have done, and what is the sancheta karma to be done in order to eliminate this or exhaust this. I'm not calling elimination, exhausting them, fulfill them or exhausting them. So that answer you have already derived at, with all sorts of working, you have derived, one answer has been derived. That has to be directly transported or promoted to this sancheta karma. So, yeah. Then only the action can be taken. Otherwise, you again get confused. So, in us, what happens is that tits and bits from those prarabdha karmas reveals, we try to repeat the same thing in order to complete it. So, that dukkha, what was there, is carried forward here as dukkha. So it is being there. Now in order to remove that dukkha from this janma, I have to go into that subtle, in samyama, I have to go into the subtle and sutra and transport it through the absolute transparent, pure, clean emotion to sancheta karma and execute it with the knowledge of samyamam I have attained. Is called attracting to samyama, application of samyama to the samskara. Samskara is that what you have cultured, or samskara, because there are certain samskaras by birth you have brought with you. Some samskaras, it cannot be changed. Many of them bolte hain na, janmana prakritiya mila hua hai usko. Certain things that may not be, that can be modified, but it cannot be changed. It can be modified, of course, with the present experiences. So with that is one kind of samskara. The second kind of samskara is that what you have been practicing. Now what happens when we are talking about having reached the samyama. So even though the samskara, whatever samskara is there, that is culturing has been done, you might have been having a very difficult past or not acceptable past. But having understood through the studies of the scriptures from the Guru and the Diksha and things like that, you have understood they are no more. So the samskara that you have cultivated or cultured is not that what is your past, that what you have cultured from the present is called the samskara. When the samyama, through the samyama, that means when the mind is no more active and retired, through the samadhi in samyama, that through the samyama you are superimposing that samyama on the samskara. That means that present activities that you are having and the problems that you are supposed to solve. You are having dukkha. I told you about the dukkha. Even though it cannot be eliminated, even though it is modified, it is still there. So with the samyama you concentrate on the dukkha, you can see the past life from where dukkha has come to you and you eliminate that. That's called the regression. This is exactly what we are doing in past life regression. What I make you do? I make you lose the consciousness of the present and where you are. Through the breathing process and through certain words and through the counseling, through certain things, through meditation, we undergo certain experiences. So what happens? Your presence of the samskara is different. Not the samskara that what you had before you go into that trance state, what we call it as trance state of PLR. And when we apply that and you are focusing, I am telling you, you focus on that incident when this sadness has happened to you in previous life. So what happened? Now you are in samyama. Your mind is not attracted to present body's conditions and it is in samadhi. With that samadhi, you are projecting yourself to that incident that has happened and you are experiencing that through samadhi, not through the emotions which is attracted by the indriyas. But when you are experiencing that through the samadhi, it is eliminated and it's gone out. But then you feel that in the physical body or in the mind at that point of time is the modified way of sancheta karma, taking it in the present status and exhausting them. Is why that feeling happens. You feel, you cry, you shout, you have pains and aches, you feel that and all that. These are all based on the prarabdha is approaching the sancheta in order to eliminate it. So in that process what happened? When it is happening in a medium, that medium will undergo the stress and strain. But that stress and strain, when you compare with the stress and strain you had in the previous janma, when you have accumulated this sancheta karma, prarabdha karma in you, that you must have done it for 80 years or 100 years of dukkha or kashta. And that you have brought into few minutes here and removed through the sancheta karma. That prarabdha karma of 100 years, which is very elaborate and have been concised and kept in that udana and has been transmitted through this emotion in PLR, in what happens, it comes to the sancheta karma eliminated in few minutes or few seconds or whatever it is. Not retaining it for you to suffer throughout the present life. And after that, when you come out of the regression status, you are absolutely relieved of that. How it has been relieved? Because that has already been exhausted. That 100 years of experience have been exhausted in few minutes. When samyama is applied in the prarabdha, in the samskara, you reach the previous lives and experience them and regress them, and you are able to identify and understand. Having understood the previous, by this what happened? You have already understood the previous life. Mistakes of the previous life or incidents of, I won't call it as mistakes, experiences of previous life you have experienced. And once you have experienced, you have already educated and learned by that, and the manner or the impression that has been created during the process of samyama goes into the antaratma, having eliminated from the sancheta karma, that particular experience having totally eliminated from your antaratma is no more there. Is how this has been eliminated. That's what he is telling about. When samyama is performed on the samskara. Now when I explained you understood. No, otherwise it's difficult to understand how the samyama to be applied on samskara. Habitual impressions of one mind. Habitual impression. When I was sad in the previous janma, died of kashta and dukkha, I am born with the kashta and dukkha, and mind is always, even though he might have been born in a very comfortable status of the family and all that, but this individual is always kashta and dukkha in mind. There are so many people. That is knowledge of the past birth come, and this is because of the karma that must be worked out. What is being projected to you? That what is to be worked out on that. So you have to work on that. When you do in samyama, whatever you visualize, that becomes a regression, and once it is regressed, what happens? That were not dealt with at that time will be dealt, that were not dealt with at that time will be dealt with at this time by the sancheta karma, and they get exhausted. But for that, meditational process is this, that through samyama, you have to approach the samskara. Through the samyama, through to the samskara, and eliminate the past. This is how the yogis and tapasvis and jnanis eliminate their past. Regress, they do the regression through meditational processes. Yes, we find certain other shortcut methods and do it. Sometimes it is temporary, sometimes it is permanent. It happens depending upon the intensity of projecting and intensity of regression. It varies. Whereas in this, it's a sure shot. That's why I am teaching you, I am associated with you in the expression of the methodology of meditation, so that we all together, when we do this meditation, we can eliminate, we can exhaust the renounce the kama, krodha, lobha, these elements from us, and then we are preparing ourselves to be that purity, so that we are in a position to deal with that which we have not dealt with it. Once you deal with it, it's exhausted. When you don't deal with it, it remains as a pending job. So we are dealing with it. That's why Swamiji has used the word, when it is not dealt with then, so you could not exhaust it. Now you can deal with it and finish it. This is how the prarabdha is eliminated in sancheta through meditational process. You understood? For that, for anything, the samyama is necessary, renunciation is necessary. 19th shloka we'll take next class. Is it okay? I think for today this much is enough to digest. Even this, if you digest, the whole life will be happier. Today's session. Today's and last these two classes, if you like that, all the classes. But it can bring happiness. How you deal with it. Come on, deal with it now. That has not been dealt with it. That has not been dealt doesn't mean that you have to bear the burden and carry that on your shoulder number of janmas. No. Bhagavan has given you an opportunity. You are carrying that putana, the huge, evil devil on your back. Your spine is already bent, dislocated, painful. How long do you want to carry that putana at the back of you? Just to make you conscious, who are you carrying at your back? Not a very pleasant luggage I'm carrying. Very poisonous milk it has got. No? You have to become Bhagavan Krishna. And you are. Shambho Mahadev, Mahadev, Mahadev.